got us putting down some of this bountiful earth humate. They mine this stuff down in southern Utah. It's almost like a precursor to like coal, old soil that really helps Utah style soil, because where we live in northern Utah, Salt Lake, Provo, Ogden, even up to Logan and up past Idaho, this was all once an ancient lake called Lake Bonneville, and about 12,000 years ago it burst its banks up north of Preston, Idaho, and most of the lake drained into the Snake River Valley, then out to the ocean. And so this has all been underwater for thousands of years. It's old lake bed, so it's like really hard clay soil, after years and years of plants and stuff. So you got a little bit of topsoil on the ground, and where we live was an old farm, so there's a little bit of good soil. And so in the summertime this stuff bakes, but the Humate basically is designed to help so the clay doesn't form just a really solid layer, and this helps it porous up so that water can get into it, and the plants can root in good and stuff. So we put a bunch of this in our lawn too, right, hon?
Yes.
I'm trying to pretend I'm an expert
so
like you.
Awesome. No, whatever.
I'm just telling the people everything that you
have
taught me.
He's a pro too. Don't let him
So,
fool you.
Anyhow.
Don't let him fool you.
So this is our backyard.
So fun.
Melody and I, we trimmed our trees last night and early this morning, some of the wispies off of them,
yes,
so that they look decent for Memorial Day weekend, so the neighbors look. And then the lawn is striped with the striper. She mowed yesterday, then she striped it, and then after we trimmed the tree, we restriped it after we had to come back here and get all the leaves up and rake it. So want it looking tight. And over here we've got our above ground gardens. We've got a couple tomato plants going. This one's been struggling a little bit. This is actually one that is designed to grow in Utah. It is called a DX5212, and it was formulated by a professor at Utah State University to grow kind of in these kinds of soils here in Utah with our climate we've got. I've got some snow peas going here, and they'll last for another month or two. And then I've got a banana pepper plant going behind it, so that once the peas die off, I got them staggered a little bit, so when the peas die off, that plant will the pepper plant will take over, because it gets pretty big and produces a lot. And then I may buy another pepper plant to have on hand, then transplant it and put it in here. The Melody's got strawberries going in here. Don't mind the big weed right there. I'll pull that sucker. That's just popped up the last day or two. But they just have strung out with their shooters a long ways. Then over here we've got some of Melody tries to reuse a lot of her plants. So these are the petunias she had up front, and so she's transplanted them back here. We'll see how they do. We've got a couple little volunteers around the yard that have come from petunia seeding, and they keep coming back. So I guess it turns them from an annual to a perennial. Sometimes we get some of those. And then we've got some russet potatoes down here that we planted the seed potatoes last fall. They were actually leftover ones that we just reburied, and so they come up almost volunteer if we just replant them as we dig them out and harvest them. And then up here we've got red potatoes going, and they're kind of struggling a little bit because we've had such mild temperatures and rain. We've tried to do the russets and leave them in over the winter here, but being above ground, they freeze and it kills the little seed potato. So they'll survive the winter underground, truly underground, but not in an elevated garden bed like these. These are all feeding trough seconds that we got at a guy was selling, and they've been great. We drilled some holes in the bottom so that they drain out. I think there's like 6 holes in this, and in the bigger ones down here we put more in. This one probably has 8 drainage holes in the bottom with the topsoil. Like we put like a little ground liner in the bottom of it, but this one probably has like 12 or 14 holes drilled underneath it that are probably drilled with like a 1/2 inch drill bit, so that it will drain and not, you know, water won't stagnate in there and stuff. So, and so yeah, they produce really good. So this is our backyard. And the master's over here cleaning off the attention to details. What
You should tell him a dad joke.
I'll have to get a good dad joke, and we can make that a tradition.
There you go. Get his dad joke in there.
Yeah, I'll think of a dad joke.
Yep, think of a dad joke.
Yeah, we'll make that I heard one yesterday, but it kind of went like this. I'm gonna blow it, but it goes something like they were having problems at the San Francisco Mint, and they brought the software engineer in to look at the software that runs the machines that coins the money there at the Mint, and he checked the software and said everything looks good. I don't know why the machines aren't running. And so they brought the mechanical engineer in to look at the Mint machine that stamps the coins. And so he's looking at it and trying to figure out what could be the problem in here. So he steps back and everything looks good, and he steps back from the machine and basically says, well, I'm not sure why it's not running. It doesn't make any sense to me. Get it?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
It's not making sense to me. Sense? As in coins sense? Okay. I know, corny. Is what it is. It's a dad joke.
It's a good joke. It's a good dad joke. I think.
All right, well, that's about it from Backyard Central.
Yep. Fun, fun,
She's
fun.
got some primrose.